Hello, everybody, and thank you for joining. We're going to give everybody just 1 minute to get in here, and then we'll get started. Great. Welcome, and thank you for joining us today for our webinar, Spotlight on WACARE's Applications. My name is Sam, and I am the WACARE's Fund Communications and Marketing Manager, and I will be hosting today's presentation. We're going to quickly go through and introduce today's panel, starting with Crystal W.
Good morning. My name is Crystal Williamson. I'm the Intake Program Manager here at WACARE's Fund. Thank you for having me.
And Sun Young.
Hello, everyone. My name is Sun Young Park, and my pronouns are she, her, and I'm the Walkers Fund Benefit Eligibility Program Manager.
And Crystal B.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Crystal Bauman, and I am the Benefits Innovation Unit Manager, and my pronouns are she, her. Thanks for having me.
And Robin.
Hi, my name is Robin Ciliax. My pronouns are she, her, and I am the Benefits and Customer Care Program Manager.
Sebastian.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Sebastian Kahe, he, him, L pronouns, and I am the Outreach and Language Access Lead.
And Logan.
Hello, everyone. My name is Logan Sargent. I'm the other Outreach and Language Access Lead here at the WildCares Fund.
We also have our DSHS customer care team in the Q&A function. Feel free to ask any questions using the Q&A function at the bottom of your screen at any point during the presentation. We're offering live simultaneous interpretations in 6 languages today. You can use the interpretation services by clicking the interpretation button at the bottom of your screen and click on the language you would like. Today's webinar will be recorded. The recording, along with the slides, will be available on our website at wacaresfund.wa.gov/webinars within 24 hours of the completion of today's presentation. And now I will pass it off to Logan, who will start today's presentation by talking to us about why WACARES is needed.
Great. Thanks, Sam. I appreciate it. Yeah, we'll get started on why the WildCares Fund is so important to us in the state of Washington here. A program like the WildCares Fund is needed because the way that we have been paying for long-term care up to now just simply is just not working. Studies show that 70% of us will need long-term care at some point in time in our lives, and just the majority of us cannot afford it. The cost for just 20 hours of home care per week is around $23,000 for 6 months, and other types of long-term care are even more expensive. Median household income for Washington State seniors is around $69,000 per year, and so really family caregivers have to step in to fill that financial gap, either with their own savings or providing unpaid care for a loved one. Almost half of all caregivers reported a related financial setback. They spend on average around 26% of their own income on care-related expenses. Many caregivers also leave the workforce early to provide care. Caregivers 50 and older who do this lose on average more than $300,000 in wages and benefits. Businesses and the economy are also impacted as well. Most caregivers work full-time, and around 61% of working caregivers say that their care responsibilities impact their job, often have to come in late, leave early, reduce hours at work, turn down promotions, or quit or retire early. And when a working caregiver leaves their job, it can cost on average 1.5 times of their original salary to replace them. To earn benefits, all Washington State workers will automatically contribute 0.58% of every paycheck during their working years. You only contribute while you're working. Everyone's covered at the same low rate, regardless of pre-existing conditions. Starting in May, you'll be able to apply for those benefits. You'll need to meet a contribution requirement and a care needs requirement. Once approved, you can choose on how to utilize that $36,500 benefit. It's a lifetime benefit amount that will continue to grow over time with inflation. You can also choose any covered services that you want, and there's no out-of-pocket costs when you need care. And what we do is we pay providers directly for the services they receive, no copays or no deductibles. Next slide. Everyone who's contributed to the WA Cares Fund more than 500 hours per calendar year is earning benefits. So this even includes part-time, temporary workers. To qualify for benefits, you need to meet the contributions requirement through one of our 3 pathways. First one is what we call the permanent pathway. And this is allow you to earn that full benefit amount by contributing for at least 10 years to the fund. Next is what we call the temporary pathway. Now they'll earn the full benefit amount if you've contributed to the fund for the last 3 of the past 6 years at the time that you apply for benefits. The next is what we call the transition pathway. Those that earn lifetime access to 10% of the full benefit amount for each year you work. So you'll contribute to the fund. Every year that you contribute to the fund, you earn 10%. These are for individuals that were born before 1968. These workers can also earn that full benefit amount if they choose to qualify through one of the other pathways. So for example, if you work and contribute 500 plus hours per year for 2 years, you'd earn 20% of that full benefit amount, or roughly around $7,300. This is what contributions would look like over the course of a typical career. Typical worker's income around $59,000 a year. They pay $29 in contributions per month, which adds up to around $10,000 paying to the fund over a 30-year career. To earn less in benefits than you contribute, you'd have to make an average $210,000 each year for 30 years. Next slide. To use your benefits, we must determine that you need help with at least 3 or more activities of daily living and will continue to need help for at least 90 days. These activities that we assess are bathing, bed mobility, transferring, toileting, mobility, eating, and medication management. We also understand that cognitive limitations can also affect a person's ADLs. The care needs requirement was developed to ensure that it also includes those individuals who need assistance due to cognitive impairments, i.e. needing supervision, cueing, or reminders. Next slide. When you're ready to apply for benefits, you'll start by creating an online account. You can have someone else help manage your account. Your local area on aging will also be available if you need more support. And once you submit your application, we'll confirm you've met the contribution requirements. Then you'll be able to schedule an appointment to talk about your care needs. After we meet with you, we'll let you know if you're approved to start utilizing your benefits. And we'll be hearing from our WA Cares team members that will walk us through this application process in more detail here in a moment. Next slide. Here's some very important upcoming milestones. Benefits will be available next year. And here's some more key dates to be aware of. Before benefits roll out for Washington State residents statewide, we will pilot our entire system in Lewis, Mason, Thurston, and Spokane counties with a limited number of applicants. Those residents that live in those counties can begin their applications on January 6th. On April 1st, you'll be able to create an online account which you can use to check your annual contribution statements and eventually apply for benefits. On May 18th of this year, applications for benefits will be open statewide. And then on July 1st, all beneficiaries can start receiving services. Next slide. Starting July, you can also choose to continue participating in the WA Cares Fund even if you do move outside the state. To become an out-of-state participant, you must contribute to the fund for at least 3 years, work at least at minimum 500 hours or more per year, and you must opt in within a year of leaving the state of Washington. Like other workers, out-of-state participants will keep contributing to the fund during their working years. We're working on a process for out-of-state participants to report their earnings, pay premiums, with really a focus on making it easy as possible for those individuals. Starting in July of 2030, out-of-state participants will be able to access benefits outside of the state of Washington. This time, I'll hand it off to Robin.
Thank you so much. So now we will walk through the experience of setting up your WA Cares account. So once you're ready to take this step, you will choose to sign in from the WalkCares website, which will prompt you to sign in using the Secure Access Washington site. And then you'll be redirected to a flow that will guide you through setting up your WalkCares account. During this process, you will confirm as well as provide a couple details, such as your legal name and some basic demographic information. Next slide, please. So as you can see here, you will have the opportunity to confirm your legal name listed is accurate or update if needed. And you can choose to provide a preferred name as well if that's applicable to you. Then you'll proceed through the flow and provide some basic demographic information such as your date of birth, confirming your address or editing that as well. And then you'll also have the option to share details about your preferred spoken and written language preferences, as you can see on the right-hand side of the screen here as well. Next slide, please. During this flow, you'll also be able to select your preferences for how you would like to receive notifications. There are a few different options to choose from, with email being automatically applied as a default option, and you do have the ability to select one or multiple of these options based on what works best for you. At any point after you've already created your account, you can go and review and edit these notification preferences by going to your account settings from your WaCares account dashboard page and selecting the communication preferences section. Next slide, please. Thank you. Upon completion of providing these details, you will be presented with a confirmation and a link that will take you to your WaCares account dashboard. And this is your WaCares benefits account dashboard page. This will include information about your annual statements as well as details for requesting your contribution determination. And I will hand it off to Crystal to talk through that next process.
Thank you, Robin. So from your dashboard that you see here on the screen, you can request your contribution determination by selecting Request a Contribution Determination. This launches you into a flow where we will ask you to confirm who you're applying for. You can have an authorized user assisting you with your request. Once confirming who your request is for, we ask a series of questions which will help us determine eligibility, such as date of birth, address, and other demographic information. Prior to submitting, you will be asked to verify the information displayed is complete. It will give you a summary of all the information you entered. Next slide, please. After submitting your information, you will be presented with a screen to confirm that your contribution determination is pending. And the screen will look like this, and it has some additional information on the screen for you to review. Next slide, please. After confirming all the information, you will be given an updated dashboard state of pending until the Employment Security Department provides a response to your contribution determination request. You will be notified via notification at the top of your dashboard when your contribution determination is received and available to view. Once Employment Security Department sends the contribution determination, your dashboard will update along with that notification with the information provided and display your contribution determination document to view the details of your determination. You will also unlock the next steps in the process, which allows you to sign your application attestation form and proceed to the next steps in scheduling your intake call for intake if your contribution determination requirement is met. You can proceed by selecting the Submit Application button displayed here on the screen. Next slide, please. And I will pass that off to Crystal Williamson.
Thank you, Crystal B.
Thank you.
After submitting your application, you'll be able to identify the days and times for an intake specialist to reach out via phone. So you can see that screen here. Your preferences will be sent over to our intake team and we'll contact you by phone during your identified preferred window to conduct your intake call. During that call, an intake specialist is going to talk through a series of questions with you. It's around 10 questions. They'll be gathering important information that will help our assessors during the assessment. They're going to schedule your care needs assessment and any language access needs that you may have, and then discuss what to expect during that assessment appointment. Additionally, you'll have the opportunity to ask any questions that you may have about the process or walkers in general. Then this information is going to be sent to our assessor so that they can prepare for your care needs assessment. We'll hand it off to Sun Young to talk about the assessment.
Thank you, Crystal. So as part of the application process, once the intake call is finished and the appointment is scheduled, you will meet with a trained assessment specialist. So the assessment specialist will complete the care needs assessment using the Get Care assessment tool. Once the assessment is fully completed, you will receive a benefit determination letter. You can review your benefit determination by clicking the View Benefit Determination button in your Walker's account. If you are approved, the benefit determination letter will include assessment summary and the list of suggested services that the assessor goes over with you at the end of the assessment. If you are not approved, the benefit determination letter will include community resources and information about your administrative hearing rights. And of course, if you have any question after reviewing your benefit determination, our Walkers team member will be available to assist. Sending back to you, Sam. Thank you.
Thank you. Now it is time for our Q&A. You can submit a question using the Q&A function at the bottom of your screen. We will start. Logan, the first question is, when did the contributions begin?
Yeah, so the contributions began in July of 2023.
Perfect. And then do eligible clients need to apply to WellCares to receive long-term care services through Medicaid or HCS? Do you, Crystal?
Yeah, I was gonna say, is that question directed at someone specific, Sam? I could try to
Yeah, whoever's
answer
comfortable.
that. Yeah, so that question is a bit complex because Medicaid is considered the payer of last resort. And I know that our partners at the Healthcare Authority are working on a coordination of benefits plan. I don't know all the details though, so I think I will pause there.
Great, thank you. Is online account creation independent regardless whether you're applying for benefits right away or in the future? When do you need to create your account?
You can create your account at any time. There are other reasons that you may be interested in creating your account, such as requesting your annual contribution statement.
Crystal W, is there a dedicated intake line for people to call in and apply for WellCares?
Yes, but I just want to clear. Oh, I'm so sorry. My internet is getting a little choppy. I'm going to shut my camera off here. Apologies. There is an intake line to call in and complete your intake call. But the application piece, I just want to kind of highlight the word application. The application is going to happen before they actually make it to the intake interviews. So they'll submit their application first, and then that will prompt that intake call to happen. So most of the time, those calls will be outgoing to the applicant based on the information that they've given us when they're entering in their preferred days and times. But folks will have an opportunity to call in if they say miss our call when we reach out to them.
For near retirees, is there a prorated amount if you contribute for less than the 10% benefit amount? Can you get 5% if you contribute for less than that? Or do you
There,
get nothing?
there are pathways for individuals who meet the criteria for near retirement to get a prorated amount, but they do not start at 5%. They start at 10%.
If somebody doesn't have internet access, how can they apply?
They can also call our benefits and customer care team, which are numbers located on the site. Crystal, did you have anything else you wanted to add to that statement?
I think as of now, that's my awareness of that process is they can contact the benefits and customer care team and that team can work on their behalf over the
You
phone
can
for them.
also,
Yep. There's also a
also
paper application. Sorry, Sam.
No, you're okay. I was just going to add, you can also go into your local area agency on aging and get in-person help with your application. So you can visit your local AAA and they can assist. Um, are assessments conducted in person? I think Logan or Sebastian, or actually Sun Young too.
Yeah, I can answer to that. So the care assessment are conducted through both in person and virtual, either phone, the video call or Zoom meeting, things like that, the virtual. However, the assessment will be completed in person. So the virtual assessment are only reserved for individual who meet specific criteria such as having an existing care plan or currently receiving hospice care. So during the intake call, the assessment type will be informed.
Thank you. Logan, or the question is the benefits and customer care team different than the AAAs? Can you explain what the AAAs are?
Yeah, so the AAAs are the Area Agency on Aging. They have a whole bunch of different services for local communities, really with focus on helping uh, the elderly age in home. We do work with them, um, contracted with the state. They will help with the application and the screening process as well.
There's a few questions. I'm looking at the registration form. There's a question about the pathways. Can you explain the pathways again really quickly, Logan? Or Sebastian,
Or
can you
was
go
it?
back to the
Uh,
pathway slide?
Yeah, I was going to pull up the pathway slide.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah, I can jump in. So the three pathways, the first one is the permanent pathway. So that's for folks who have contributed for at least 10 years at any point in their career. Um, that meets the first contribution requirement. Then once you have a care need, then those folks will be eligible for the full benefit amount. Then there's the transition pathway for folks who are near retirement, so folks born before 1968. That group of workers is eligible for 10% of the full benefit amount for each year that they have contributed, again, since July of 2023 when contributions began. And then the temporary pathway is for folks who have contributed 3 of the last 6 years. They are eligible for the full benefit amount once they have a care need or if they have sort of an emergency care need.
Um, can, this might also be for you, Sebastian, can benefits be transferred if the beneficiary passes away? Can the remaining amount be transferred?
So the benefit amount is for the eligible beneficiary, right? So the person who has met the contribution and care needs requirements, and that amount cannot be transferred to someone else. So I guess the short answer would be no.
Thank you. I will say some of these questions, we can definitely answer them. You can submit them online through an email or by phone. I will say today's panelists are experts in the application and application process. So we might not be able to answer some of these questions that are not related to applications live in today's webinar. But I will do my best, and I will put the link for the email address and phone number that you can submit other questions to in the chat in just a second. Can Sebastian, maybe can walkers be used along with other long-term care programs?
Yes, it can be used, like Crystal mentioned, right there. The process for sort of the coordination of benefits is being worked on with HCA, but walk cares will be able to be used with other programs and won't disqualify right from eligibility for Medicaid, for example. So.
Are you able to monitor your benefit amount? So if you start using benefits, are you able to see your remaining amount and monitor that?
I can answer that question. Yes, they will. They will be able to see it on their dashboard. Their dashboard state will change after they have been determined to have met the contribution requirement and care needs requirement. With the amount that they were approved for the percentage. So, for example, for prorated individuals, they would see their prorated amount if they were eligible for one of the pathways that is eligible for the full benefit amount, they would see that. And then as they start to use the benefit, they will see their benefit balance update along with that.
If a person is denied during the application process, how will they be informed? And is there an appeal process?
I can
Yes.
answer. Yeah, go
Oh,
ahead.
go ahead. Oh, I'll answer maybe the contribution termination, and you can answer the care needs. Does that sound good, Sonia?
Yes, sounds great.
So if they request a contribution determination and are denied because the Employment Security Department determined that they did not meet the contribution requirement, or if they disagree with the amount, like prorated or partial amount that they were approved for, there is a new dashboard state that the individual will be given that allows them to submit a redetermination request to Employment Security Department and also a option to formally appeal the decision. So they can do that. And then I'll pass that over to Sun Young to talk about the care needs requirement.
Yeah, thank you, Crystal. So if an individual is determined ineligible for services following the care needs assessment, a benefit determination letter will be issued through the individual's workers account. And then the benefit determination letter includes summary of the assessment and information regarding the individual's right to request an administrative hearing, including phone number, all the contact information.
Yeah, for the contribution determination, they will also get a letter, just to clarify as well. So they will get a letter with additional details and information.
Thank you. If someone is born before Sebastian, if someone is, or Logan, if someone is born before 1968 and has paid into the Law Cares Fund since 2023, so for 3 years, if they need care in 2029, will they still get the full benefit since it's been 3 out of the last 6 years, or 30%?
Yeah. So I guess in that case, it would depend on the care need, right? If there's that immediate care need and they have contributed 3 of the last 6 years, then they could qualify through that temporary pathway and earn the full benefit amount, depending on when they have the care need. And I did just want to add, going back to the other contribution pathways, that someone who, again, in the transition pathway that is born before 1968, who may qualify, let's say, in the example that we shared earlier, for 20% of the full benefit amount, if they continue contributing, let's say they continue working right after retirement, then they could earn access to the full benefit amount through one of the other pathways as well.
I might be able to take this one, but are licensed providers who are contracted with other services do they need to submit a separate application for WellCares? The answer is yes. Providers need to be registered, and be contracted with WellCares. If you would like to be a registered WellCares provider. Sorry, just reading through some of these questions. I think if you have some of the questions in here, again, like I mentioned, our panelists today can speak to the applications and the application process. Some of these questions we won't be able to cover in today's webinar, but you can definitely submit them via email, call us on the phone, or use our live chat feature on our website to get answers to these questions. I'll give you guys another minute if there's any last minute questions, and then we will continue on. Okay, Sebastian, next slide. As soon as we close out of today's webinar, there will be a survey that will pop up on your screen. If you could take a moment to complete the survey, that would be great. We would really love to hear your feedback. And really quick, there's a last minute question that I'm going to ask. If they're trying to complete their application online and they keep getting an error, who should they contact?
If for some reason they are getting an error online, I would recommend that they reach out to the Benefits and Customer Care team to help them complete the remainder of their application process. Although it's not expected that that will happen.
Thank you. And the contact information for them is in the same link that I just posted in chat. So you can feel free to use that link to get the Benefits and Customer Care team contact information. I'd like to thank you all for joining us today. As a reminder, the webinar materials and slides will be available at our website, wellcaresfund.wa.gov/webinars. You can also register for upcoming webinars. From that page, we do have a webinar coming up for employers, is our next one. You can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn to stay up to date on all the things happening here. And you can contact us with any questions, or you can contact ESD customer care if you have questions about employers and exemptions. Thank you all for joining us today, and we hope to see you again at a future webinar. Thank you.